We are live, baby, says Haskell420 in chat, and he ain't wrong. I'm Ken Napsok. This is Mark Riley.
Hello.
At the bar is Josh Macuga. Woo!
Almost.
Oh, we got it. We got it.
And you already saw his wonderful, beautiful face, but the very talented, the very nice, the wonderful DJ Wooldridge is in the house.
Yes,
in
sir.
studio.
That's me. Nailed the last name. Good
You know,
job.
I've worked with
Nailed
you
it.
technically for a
Yes.
short. We crossed paths a little bit, but we also
yeah.
booked and screen
Yeah,
judged those days.
Yeah.
I try.
Yeah, but still. I'm
Often
just appreciative.
3 out of 4 times I say Ikaika's name wrong.
Yeah.
He reminds me subtly.
I've tried. I mean, I have 19 nicknames for him because I pronounce his name wrong all the time.
Yeah.
I think the first 2 months I was calling him Yukaika, and they're like, it's Ikaika. It's like,
And I call him Ukaipa, which is a city, apparently.
near Palm Springs.
Then I hear Akaika.
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 Ikaika.
I just say, hey, dude.
Ikaika, how much do you want to murder us in our sleep every day?
Yeah, like what's the percentage?
I'm past that now.
Oh.
Good job, good work. I'll most likely
sounds
kill you in the
worse.
morning. We got all of our regulars in chat, including Rachel, Donald, Mike, Rod, Damon, R1974. It's the big show, the main show we do over here where we just hang. And, of course, as always, we've got sponsors. Josh
Hey,
Macuga.
everybody. Welcome to the Good People Live, a.k.a. GPA Live. Thanks for tuning in. As always, tonight's programming is brought to you by Boone's Homegrown Bourbon, product of one Tyler Boone, Americana rock legend. It's 117 proof of pure joy. Put it over ice, put it in a glass, pour it on top of your body, and go down a slip and slide. It's glorious for this time of year. Is it hot where you live? Pour some Boones in your body. Guarantee you your temperature will go up and then later go down when you pass out. Boone's Bourbon, summer sponsor.
Wow.
I was mesmerized. I was looking at the monitor, Mark. And
Yeah.
Our live monitor, Josh, is a little delayed, and I just was mesmerized by Boone's Bourbon. It's like, I fell asleep. It was like ASMR.
I was
Yeah.
I just couldn't get the slip and slide, pouring it over you. And the slip and slide. I was like, don't waste the bourbon.
Is my ASMR just reading ads to people?
Yeah,
Is
for
that-
4
I think
hours.
so.
Yeah.
4 hours.
Yeah. What's your ASMR of choice?
That's a great question.
That's an
What is
awesome
my-
question.
You know what? I wonder if I can probably say this. You know, like a lot of people, I was looking for work. I was looking around, just seeing what was out there, and I applied to an ASMR. Our ASMR channel that just was raking in money because they had like millions of views on these 10-hour-long videos. Yeah.
I'm telling you.
And perhaps in hindsight, when they were like, hey, why do you look at this job? It's like, because I think it'd be so easy. And maybe I shouldn't have mentioned that. Maybe I shouldn't have said it because it didn't work out. What is your rule? I should have asked before we went on air. What's your rule on cursing?
We encourage responsible cursing.
Okay.
It comes up. It comes up.
Okay.
It's like,
Okay.
you know,
All right.
when you need a good one.
All right. That's
we
fair. That's
we
fair.
have a bourbon as a sponsor.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to
Yeah.
make sure because the different strokes for different folks. You know what I mean? And so I didn't want to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, you're a professional for asking.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
On air. Like
On air.
it's that.
No.
Yes.
Well, we
Waiting
should
till
probably-
we're-
We usually do that.
We
That's
just
how we
chit
do
chat
it.
before the show. We should probably do that there. Also, we want to point out we are in Pride Month here, and right now to the end of the month, any Super Chat Streamlabs portions of all proceeds go to the Trevor Project, saving young LGBTQ lives. For more information, go to trevorproject.org. We unveiled that Monday with Mark and Draco on the Positivity Report, so go back and check that episode. We talked about some good important stuff. So that goes from now to the end of June. We just wrapped up our campaign with the Battle Buddy Foundation. Josh, I miss Atlas the Wonder Dog.
He's a great dog. He's a great dog. And the Battle Buddy Foundation, very excited about our donation. And next year, obviously, already talking to Kathy and Darren and Kenny and Chrissy about the GPA sponsoring something at the golf tournament, getting us involved in the golf tournament. And then me, maybe even getting Tyler Boone in there to perform, maybe a little music. I did, a impromptu stand-up set, just like I did at the bar at the Gage Hotel in Marathon, Texas, on Sunday evening. Was it Sunday? I believe Sunday.
Time has no meaning on the road.
You're from Texas, right? No.
Who am I?
There it is.
That's a good question.
Where are you
So,
from?
I'm from
Maryland,
Florida.
huh?
From
Florida.
Tampa, Florida. But we moved around a lot. I lived in Tucson, Arizona a little
Okay.
bit.
I was through Tucson this past week.
Yeah. So I like it going to Austin, Texas for Fantastic Fest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My fiance,
that
born
much.
in Tucson, spent some time there. What's your thoughts on EG's, the fast food restaurant out there?
I moved away from Tucson when I was in grade school, like first grade.
Not a lot of
Yes, not a lot of chances, and I've never returned. Not been back once.
She hasn't either. So.
Okay,
DJ
see?
Wooldridge has yet to return.
Has yet to return. They keep making me go back to Florida, but Tucson not once.
There's a big when you pull into Tucson. I was just there. When you pull into, there's a huge billboard. It's hilarious. It says, "Where the is DJ Wooldridge?"
Yeah, where did he go?
Where did he go?
We don't know.
And weirdly enough, it's the website is where the is DJWooldridge.org. So it's a nonprofit.
It's a nonprofit trying to find
trying
him.
to find.
I should see if I can cash in on that. I know where I am.
Yeah. I was like, I'm driving. I'm like, what? I know where he is.
It couldn't be the same one. It's got to be a different one.
Different.
Yeah.
Is it the guy from the Runaway Train video? Kind of. I don't even know.
Well, you just make a Blind Melon reference?
No, Runaway Train.
Runaway Train never come back.
That's
that
that's
Blind
not
Melon?
Collective Soul. It's Soul Decision. Nope.
Blind Melon.
Blind Melon did not sing that song.
Oh,
No.
Soul-Aside.
Soul-Aside.
David Perner and
Yes.
Soul-Aside.
Soul-Aside. That's
Blind Melon
Melon's-
was Rain.
Rain. And Ken, that's the first time you've ever gotten
Messed it up.
a 90s song reference wrong.
I tell you what, I wasn't a huge Blind Melon fan.
No.
I wasn't a huge Soul-Aside fan because they took the
Me neither.
replacement sound and made money off it when the replacements didn't.
Yeah.
Same with Goo Goo Dolls. I'm sorry.
Preach.
Sorry.
Preach.
I'm a Mats fan
Preach
to the
it.
core.
I do like the Goo Goo Dolls.
I don't dislike the Goo Goo Dolls.
That's all right.
I don't dislike them.
I don't want to start any controversies. I don't dislike them. No.
You know, it's
Thoughts on Winona Ryder and David Perner dating in the 90s? Go.
God, I forgot about
I
that.
think that
Good for them. I hope they're happy now.
There, you know,
mean,
there's
they
a
are 'cause
picture
they're
of
not
them
together.
Not together.
from
yeah,
Rolling
yeah.
Stone,
Yeah.
like laminated at Barney's Beanery somewhere.
Somewhere.
In Los
Yeah,
Angeles.
yeah.
Who was this one? Winona Ryder?
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, it's been Blind Melon sang No Rain. Everyone's catching. Yeah.
Yes.
No Rain
Yeah.
was okay.
You know, you brought up, so you're talking about 90s bands. When do you think we'll get around to, we've spent a lot of time in 80s nostalgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When do you think we're going to get around to
Very
the 90s,
soon.
the 90s nostalgia? Because I realized I was born in the 80s, but when I've slowly realized most of my formative memories, however, are in the 90s.
Yeah.
And so that's maybe why, like, a lot of the 80s nostalgia just doesn't, like, all right.
I mean, the 90s are my favorite decade, and that's when I
Yeah.
graduated high school. Was a rock DJ and had hopes and dreams. So
Yeah.
I love it. I hope soon. I don't know. That's a
No.
good question.
Everybody's favorite decade is their hopes and dreams decade.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Whenever that decade fell for you,
So you
Mine was the 80s.
80s?
Well, I was so connected to all the movies in the 80s. So I was like, yeah, I want to do that. I
hopes
want
and
to go.
dreams decade.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah,
like the Amblin generation.
The Amblin generation.
Name one good movie from the.
Yeah, was there any?
Was there one? I think a lot of the 80s nostalgia. I'm sorry if I'm completely derailing this.
This is
entire
what we
thing.
do.
That's-
Don't worry.
that's what the
Don't
show
worry.
is called.
DJ's also here for a good reason. We're going to talk about that in a second. But
Yeah,
this
we'll
is
get
what
there.
we do.
I think a lot of nostalgia for the 80s movie there was the nexus where it was the beginning of there was a lot of genre movies that were like actual goddamn movies. Like they were actually,
Yeah.
it was before like we had to milk everything with
There-
the soul. And
Yeah.
so you had this kind of like, I think coming out of Star Wars, you had people that it wasn't just, you weren't just trying to make franchises. So
Yeah.
they still like, you're
Yeah.
still shooting on film, and that's where a lot of that nostalgia comes from.
I agree.
Yeah, original film. It was like the
Yeah.
original stories, like an E.T. or a Goonies or Indiana Jones.
When they were making Predator, they weren't like, there's going to be a
Predator.
Predator 6. It's like,
Yeah.
no, we just want to see the most
Predator.
muscly
So
men in the
cool.
world fight an alien. That's all we want.
I mean, that's exactly that's what I thought. Yeah, no,
I,
seriously.
I
yeah.
literally do bicep curls as often as humanly possible, simply for the fact that one day I will do this
Boom,
with some
and
other
it'll
guy
just
in
be
a
like,
jungle,
oh,
and that's
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
If
I've been
right
sent
before-
there.
Yep,
Like you're
an alien
62.
rips your spine out.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anytime I walk into Del Taco, I just go, "Gonna have me some fun. Gonna have me some fun." Anytime. Yeah. No, I told, and I know Mark's kind of a resident movie guy, but I back that up. It's just the nostalgia came from just your upbringing's not the content, and I don't have a problem with it now. I always say because the children of the '80s got into positions of power in Hollywood, making movies, making choices. Hey, I love Transformers. That was a great story. Let's do that. I'm there for that, but it's just I know what you mean. It's original stuff, original stories.
And also in the 90s, you had nascent CGI, and most of it sucked. It was awful. You got the occasional like Terminator 2, Jurassic Park, where it still for the most part holds up because they use it sparingly.
Right, right.
But like a lot of it, like listen, I think The Mummy's a blast. It's a fun movie, but some of the CGI in it is trash. It's
Yeah.
just straight.
Yeah.
It's just straight
Listen,
trash.
Because
it was dated then.
They were firing up like an IBM Just like, hey, can you make Beatles?
The most underrated film of the 90s, if we're talking like, superhero action films, is Billy Zane's The Phantom.
Oh, yeah.
The Phantom was great.
It's great.
It was legitimately a lot of fun.
1996, but
It's
there
a
was
lot of fun.
hilarious CGI at the end when it's like those sharks in that thing, and
Yeah.
he does like the thing, and it's like, and they all explode.
And it's a bummer too because you watch that movie and Billy Zane should have been like one of the leading guys
Yes,
in a lot
big
of the
star.
stuff. Yeah,
For sure.
Titanic.
Titanic ruined his career, if you ask
Memphis
me.
Belle.
Did
He
you
was
guys
great in
ever
Memphis
see
Belle.
Mad Dogs? It was an Amazon show. It only existed one season.
Heard of it.
He played an antagonist in it, and that was where he lost his hair. But he was supposed to be playing this wealthy guy that was super charismatic, and immediately was like, "That's Lex Luthor, man!" Like he could have.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Late stage Billy Zane could have demolished a Lex Luthor.
Well,
role.
the crazy Billy Zane story is so my mother-in-law she's an artist. They live up in Northern California, and I'm in her art studio, and I look at this painting, and and I was like, it looks like Billy Zane, like on the thing, and I was like, Billy Zane paint this? Like joking? She's like, yeah, my friend Billy paints. He comes up here all the time. I was like,
Yeah.
well, why am I not invited to these Billy Zane paint
It's
sessions?
crazy.
What?
Billy Zane. We found out his stepdad was Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson.
I know, it's crazy.
Wild.
Yeah, unbelievable.
We know people.
You should talk to your friend Billy Zane. He's a real cool dude.
Yeah.
I know you don't name drop in your own life, Josh, at your wedding. Can I just
Go ahead.
I love just being at your wedding, and so I officiated his wedding, and
Yeah.
I did a good job. And his dad, and someone
fantastic.
Goes up and goes, Scott Eastwood really loved that, and he wants to talk to you. And I was like, Scott Eastwood's here.
Yeah.
And then there he was at the fire pit.
I summon people.
Yeah.
Francis Fisher was also a big fan
Francis
of your
Fisher.
ceremony.
Francis
too.
Fisher spoke at my college graduation, and I went up to her, drunk,
Yeah.
of course, and went,
You're at a wedding.
"You spoke at my college graduation," and she turned to me, drunk, and went, "Did I F it up?" And I was like, "No, you were great." She's like, "I don't remember. Where was it?" I'm like, "USC."
Those are the celebrity encounters that just like Billy Zane painting would be a dream.
Yeah.
Like, you turn
Yeah,
it in,
yeah.
and it's like, hey, what's up? But like at the engagement or the rehearsal dinner, right? Francis Fisher was there, and no one would talk to her at first. And I kind of knew maybe family friend, it's Carmel, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was Finstock who first was
Oh yeah,
like,
the two of us. talking.
Titanic, huh? and then she was great. She was like, "Can I
She's
have a cigarette?"
hysterical.
And there was a fun night. I love those kind of encounters.
Totally.
Super chat coming in from Jersey. Girl Lori says, happy to chip in for the Trevor Project. Hashtag take my money. Hashtag ally. Hashtag happy pride. Hashtag love is love. P.S. You have a package in the mail room.
Whoa.
Just a little something to help pass the time. Don't kill each other.
Okay.
She
Where's
sent
the-
us swords.
Yeah.
Where's the mail room?
Do we have a mail room here?
Downstairs?
Pause real quick. Where is the mailroom?
Yeah.
And how many packages are in there?
Yeah.
Mailroom.
We'll have
Just
to check.
leave it down there.
We do have a mailbox here that we never go to because we have a key buried in
Who
the
knows what's
thing.
in there? Who
And
knows
about
what's
once
in
a
there?
month we'll go there and go, oh, hey, I guess we have a bill to pay.
Yeah.
We could be sending you something in the mail though soon. you
Yeah.
good people.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Now,
yeah.
listen, we've been teasing this for a
Let's
minute.
do
Ken.
it. Let's do this. Let's do this. Get
So,
ready, DJ.
Before we get into
so
DJ,
excited.
DJ's here to talk about a project he's working on, which is
Yep.
awesome. Also, he's a good buddy and he's great on shows. I've been on his shows a bunch of times,
Yes.
talking Bad Boys for Life.
Bad Boys, yeah.
It was the only show that I got invited on to talk about Bad Boys for Life, and I will have you know, it was the best time I had on any of those shows. Okay, so for a while, we've been teasing this, but starting today, you can finally purchase the picks and the sticks. Okay, now we've got 4 custom guitar picks. Okay, these are the Good People Association, brought to you by Intune GP. If you guys want to get your own picks made, you can. You got your Ken, you can't really see him. You got your Ken, you've got your Josh, you've got your Mark Riley, and you've got your Eric Bass of Shine.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Ikaika, you have a graphic of those picks, I believe, correct?
and the sticks.
There you
Oh,
go.
Oh, look at that.
Okay, so there you go. And then you've got your 3 stickers. You've got your Good People Association 2, and then your Be Good People.
Do we put the Streisand lens on the picks?
Yeah, these are the smoky
Big
picks.
soft
brought
focus
to you.
here, really.
Right? You've got the magnifying glass, you've got the Nickelodeon sticker, and you've got the Be Good People sticker. Now, you've also got, you can come to me. We're going to, with every order, we're going to sign one of these personal cards just for you founders or anybody. If you're not a founder,
Yeah.
yada, 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 we're going to figure that out. But we're going to send this to you, sign it, give you, Ken's going to write, have a nice summer like he's in the yearbook. Okay?
Yeah. I love this.
Mark's gonna.
I'll work to be better.
It's my favorite joke of all time.
I'll be better. I'll be better.
Hey, Mark, when we first sent out the ones with T-shirts and stuff, we were like, "Thanks for everything. You're great." And Ken was just like, "Thanks, Ken."
Look, I learned from selling my book, man.
Yeah.
If you get 30 people for a book show, you just go, force me with you, Ken. Force me with you, Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys were writing very heartfelt messages.
Very heartfelt messages.
I remember when we first met 10 seconds ago, and I just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're going to get this personalized card from us, all in the same envelope, all together. All 3 picks, all 3 sticks.
Yep.
Okay? Now, for founders, and how you're going to be able to do this is not through the merch store. This is just through us. You can go to streamlabs.com/goodpeoplegpa. Streamlabs.com/goodpeoplegpa. Okay?
Yep.
It's $25 for the picks and the sticks and the personalized card from us here at the Good People Association.
And then we mail them out ourselves.
We mail them out ourselves to you.
Bag them and tag them and send them out.
Bag them and tag them. So go to streamlabs.com/goodpeoplegpa. Now, if you're a founder, they're only $20.
Oh, snap.
$25 for non-founders, $20 for founders. So go in there. Make sure you streamlabs.com/goodpeoplegpa and you get your picks and your sticks. What do you got, Ken?
Does that include Bucket Club? Yes.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Yes.
Bucket
and
Club
Bucket Club founders.
Bucket Club founders.
Yeah. We actually had a meeting before the show, and I didn't pay attention.
Yeah, Bucket Club and founders. All this custom merch just for you guys. Take these stickers, put them on stuff. My wife hates it. I look at surfaces and I think to myself, how many stickers can I put on there? I love stickers. Water bottles, notebooks, everything that deserves a sticker should have one. And my wife hates the stickers because she's like, I don't want to live in a fraternity. I'm like, all right. So, like, I put them everywhere. I really do. So I'm very excited. And they're high quality stickers. They're not
they're awesome.
They're not like cheapy, kind of like they're going to rip off anything. And also, as a special, a little bonus for all of you people, going to streamlabs.com/goodpeoplegpa to buy the sticks and the picks until we run out. Again, there's only 50 of these stickers, 50 of each of these stickers. So we'll sell them until we run out, and then we'll probably do a second batch, but different stickers. We'll do limited
these are
edition
exclusive stickers.
Yeah.
This is all limited edition stuff.
Jersey Glory asks, so it's just a Streamlab? Yes, because in the Streamlab, we need you to put in your address.
Thank you. Yep.
Yeah, and
In the Streamlab, and that's a private
that's
thing.
private. We don't. Well, we'll randomly choose one address to dox.
Yes.
Yes. Absolutely.
No?
That's a promise.
No?
That's a promise.
No, should I not do that?
That's a promise. Hey, listen, you do what you want. I'm just the guest here.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not here to tell you what you should or shouldn't do.
So your address comes along. Even though we have your address from a Bucket Club thing, that goes to a separate server. That's a totally different thing for Bucket Club. And so go to streamlabs.com/goodpeoplegpa. $25 for founders, $20 for Bucket Club and founders, $25 for non-founders. These are limited edition. Only 50 of these stickers out there, and same with the guitar picks. And then once we sell out all those, we'll do another custom run of things. And I'm going to throw in, as a bonus, this is like QVC, as a bonus, you'll get a couple of Josh Macuga for Jeopardy stickers, because I have a lot of those that I have yet to get rid of. And listen, if there's maybe time, I'm throwing a Josh Macuga for Jeopardy button. What the hell?
Oh,
if
yeah.
anything's better than Mayim Bialik.
I gotta tell you.
It was brutal, DJ.
Sorry. Do you have a front runner? I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Katie.
No.
Katie Couric. I've said it all.
Yeah,
along.
yeah,
Katie
yeah.
Couric.
No,
Without
cut
a
me
doubt.
off. I was just gonna say, every 10th person, we're gonna pour some Boone's bourbon into the envelope.
Yes.
Boom. Just
And
for
Boone's
you.
I'm-
Enjoy.
I'm going to put the Boone's in my mouth, and I'm going to sneeze into the envelope.
Yeah.
So
That's not
That's not
good.
No, that's not good.
No?
That's not good.
No?
Yeah.
Not good.
I mean,
not good.
good. Yeah.
I'll drop a
We'll
cheese
see.
it in there.
Yeah, correct. A full Cheez-It just for flavor.
But you got to bubble wrap it. So
Yeah. Don't
stays
worry,
fresh.
we're not going to put like the glitter that you would get in like a bar mitzvah invitation in school. Like
Can we
open it
drop
and then
the
glitter goes everywhere.
Streamlab link
Don't
in
worry.
chat.
Yes. I can't.
was that your
Stream.
Yeah,
Yep.
sorry.
So you're going to get Josh Macuga for Jeopardy stickers. You're going to get a limited edition one of each of these stickers. And we got to give a shout out to Design Studios out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Design. D-Z-I-N-G-N. Right? I-G-N. Design. Spelling. D-Z-I-G-N.
Love it.
Studio. Check them out on Instagram. Sammy and her husband Jared run it. They were fantastic. They designed all these cool stickers, and we have a few other designs, but also too for the next run of stickers and or pics.
Yeah.
If you have a drawing or an image, send us the drawing. If you don't know how to do graphics on a computer, great. Send us a drawing, and we'll work on the pics. The front runner, the vote, we'll put it up on a vote. Everybody can vote what they want for the next stickers and the next pics. But this limited run stickers, sticks, pics,
Sticks.
pricks and jicks. I don't know. They've all got.
That's the next order.
That's the next order. You guys get it. $25 for non-founders, non-Bucket Club members. $20 for founders, Bucket Club members. Go to streamlabs.com/goodpeoplegpa. And you get these stickers. We're going to be promoting them until they run out, and then we'll do another run.
Limited edition. Don't lie. If you're just floating through here, we'll cross-check you with Riley's Google Sheets about the founders and Bucket Club.
That's right.
Throw that picture up again, Ukaipa, throw it up.
Hot pants, the Hawaiian
throw
hunk.
it up.
Look at this.
I really do love my pick. It really captured my beanie look that I was wearing in the winter.
The pink
Josh,
shoes.
well, yeah, this is great. Mark Riley looks like the best substitute teacher at a college class I've ever seen.
I do.
And of course, Eric Bass looks like a rock star.
I need to play a freaking guitar or something.
I mean, look, we got the designs.
Can I get up a golf club in the next one?
Yeah,
think?
and we got the picks. We got the. Oh yeah, that's. Oh, we should all do a sports series.
Yes,
of
you're baseball.
I thought we were doing that for the souvenir.
Oh, for the souvenir cups. We're working on souvenir cups too.
yeah.
So much
Spoilers.
merch, so little time.
Spoilers.
There you go. But we got the picks back, and I love our picks. But then you get Eric's, and you're like, of course he's a rock star. He just looks like a rock star. Speaking of rock stars.
DJ
DJ's
Wooldridge.
a rock star.
What?
Yeah.
He's a writer. He's a director, producer, a lot of things. And and
I've read one of his scripts, his movie. It's
Oh, yeah, you
friggin'
did.
great.
and
I'm
comics.
rewriting that one right
I
now.
love that
Yeah,
movie,
yeah,
man. That's a
thanks,
great
man.
idea. It's got a great comeback.
Yeah.
I loved it. Sorry.
No. This is great. This is what we do here. And DJ is here to talk about a new project that he has got going on Kickstarter. He is an independent. Is it fair to say, when it comes to like the comics world, independent creator?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
And
Marvel and DC are not cutting me any checks, so independent is absolutely correct.
Which for the most part that's mostly the industry.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. You've got this great project out right now, HELLBENT. It's a comic book, a devilishly irreverent supernatural thriller.
Yeah.
Tell us what's going on, and we got the link in the description below if you want to support.
Absolutely. You can also go to hellbentcomicbook.com. That's
Yes,
a good way to
you can.
get there. Yeah. So over the dark times, the pandemic or whatever, it's interesting you brought up my script. I had stuff ready to make a movie. That was my plan. I was going to crowdfund a movie. We shot some footage with the cast that we had. And literally as we were filming is when LA was shutting down. And so we were having conversations. We're like, okay, so 2 weeks. Okay. All right. So 2 weeks, after 2 weeks, we can, because we got rained out on one of our days. So we missed some stuff. And it quickly became apparent that it was going to be a smidge longer
Yeah, a
than
little
2
bit.
weeks. Yeah.
A little
So something you don't need people to be in a room together to work on in today's day and age is a comic book. And so this has been an idea I've been playing around with for a while. So it's a Jezzy, this powerful, trans woman with amazing supernatural abilities, has to go on the run. She's been raised her whole life in this like religious cult, and she has to go on the run, and she ends up teaming up with this like a cult assassin. I've been describing him as like John Wick meets John Constantine.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
and so they have to
Keanu Reeves.
they have to go on the exactly. Yeah,
both
for both. He's a Keanu Reeves character. He's a Latino, so that wouldn't quite work in the movie, but whatever.
Yeah. Let's not catch.
Yeah. Love him. He just wouldn't fit for this. And they have to go on the run together. And I co-wrote it with my good friend Jana July. She and I have been friends since high school. We've been friends for years. We've collaborated on stuff
In
before.
Tampa.
Back in Tampa. Yeah.
Got it right this time, guys.
Yeah. So we co-wrote it. We got Heather Vaughn on art, who's worked on a bunch of amazing projects. And so now you can go hellbentcomicbook.com. You can go. It is, as of this moment, it is fully funded, which is amazing. In a little over a day, we funded the project, and so now it's all about you guys know the Kickstarter scene. Now we're in the stretch goal range, and we're all about making this as good a product as we possibly can.
Well, explain that for those, because that's a great point about Kickstarter. Funding the project doesn't mean you are now rolling off a pile of money, snorting cocaine with Ryan Seacrest. That means you are just getting to the starting line.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly.
Wait a second. Let's go back to that Coke with Ryan Seacrest thing.
Yeah.
I'm not
Do we
saying
get
he
that
does.
on
I'm
Kickstarter?
I'm just saying
it's a
that
perk.
you are
That's the
not.
support
Yeah.
level. That's the
Yeah.
support level.
Oh, okay.
Josh is like, back in this project.
Yeah, wait a second.
Wait,
so,
my Seacrest cocaine movie is going to get made now?
So yeah, you're absolutely right, because at least what I did, what a lot of people do, is you create your funding level as this is the least amount that I need to get this into people's hands.
Okay.
This is not breaking even.
We're
not making money. Like that's not.
Yeah.
And so that's funded. We've got that. We're able to make the comic happen. And it is happening. So now you can contribute with confidence that the comic is happening. And this is not the first time I've done this. I've crowdfunded 2 comics before, gotten the rewards out. So this is happening.
Yeah.
But what happens now is, we've got stretch goals. One of the things, one of our perks that you get with the comic is the tarot plays an important part. It's part of Jizzy's magical abilities. The tarot is a part of it. So we have original tarot cards designed by CAP Ward, a credible artist. And you'll hear it here first. The first stretch goal is going to be, there's the company we're getting to print those cards. They have this cool metal foil effect that they can put on the cards, and so that's going to be our first stretch goal.
Ooh, yeah.
That's awesome. Nice.
Official announcement for that tomorrow when I have time to make the promotional assets. So that's going to be our first stretch goal.
Yeah.
And so that's what it is now. It's all about making it, when you go in, you have a vision of what you want this comic to be.
Yeah.
And so now it's us working towards that. But it's been a really cool process because for anybody that we were just talking about nostalgic stuff, 80s, 90s, whatever. If you were reading comics in the 90s, the company to beat, the publisher to beat was Vertigo, which was turning out, speaking of John Constantine, that was the original Hellblazer book. We're talking about Preacher, we're talking about Sandman.
Right.
And this comic is like a throwback to those, where it's a little bit, it's irreverent, it's violent, it's got adult language, it's got sexual situations. But it's
Preacher
also,
had that.
It sure did, but it's also inclusive and we're on the positivity report. It is, even though it has a lot of those darker elements, the message and the what we're trying to do with the book is create a positive story that people can hopefully see themselves in. And this is just the beginning of that journey. Now that this is funded, what we're hoping to is we can build to a place where we can do part 2 of the story, part 3 of the story, which brings in new characters, new experiences, and fortunately we have such a diverse team of women and non-binary people contributing to this project, able to bring their experiences and their incredible talents to this, that hopefully people are able to see themselves in these stories while also enjoying something that's just really kick-ass, intense, and fun.
No, that's I love what you're saying there, especially the team. You're getting me behind you. It's because it's not just enough to say I have this great diverse idea. You want to include the people behind the scenes to tell part of their story too, and that's part of the joy of it and the success behind it. Yeah.
Well, you guys all are working together. The team aspect of it is really important, especially with the comic. It's not you can't just go in and be like, this is what's happening. You want people. Everybody's so talented, and the secret to any successful creative project, at least in my experience with it, is to surround yourself with people that are significantly more talented than you are. You know what I mean? Because that makes you look better. And so these from Jaina to Heather, we've got Ellie Wright on colors, we've got Haley Rose Lyon on letters, we've got variant covers by these amazing artists Nicole Gu and Danny. CP Ward, who's doing the tarot cards. All these people are so incredibly gifted, and it was such a pleasure to collaborate with them. And I'm really excited now that I know that it's funded. Yeah, I'm really excited to be able to share this project with people because I think it'll really surprise people and entertain them, and hopefully be the beginning of something really cool and interesting.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah,
and
this is amazing.
I love the idea, because we were talking about the Trevor Project and LGBTQ and. Having the superhero be trans, I think is something really powerful. Yeah. It's pretty amazing. And, I watched all of Preacher for better, for worse. I think some of the seasons were amazing. But, the adult comic genre, I think is something really amazing. It's, and I love when they, people like Seth Rogen and what's his producing? Evan Goldberg, right?
Evan Goldberg, yeah.
They produce some of the best. Because, The Boys is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Preacher was fantastic. Has my favorite actress of all time, Ruth Negga. And
she's so good.
She's so good. Yeah. If she would just answer my emails about starting a rutabaga farm, we would be so good.
Yeah.
I think it's a really cool topic.
That was your shot. The rutabaga thing was your shot.
It was my shot.
Okay. All right.
That was my shot. I asked her at Comic-Con, and it didn't go that well.
Yeah.
So
that's fair. Listen, that's fair. But if you're into that sort of thing, I will say, the Preacher's a big influence on it. It was written by the original comic was written by Garth Ennis, who also did The Boys, and I will say I think it picks up a lot of the
Garth Ennis did The Boys, right?
Yeah.
But he did Preacher too, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. In it picks up a lot of irreverence from that. Doesn't quite have this Hellbent does not have the same misanthropic And like there's a level which I love those comics. This is not a diss. It's just his worldview in those comics is a little bit more cynical than ours is in this.
Yeah.
So it's perfect. Yeah, no, absolutely. Find the good, positivity, all the things we preach here. I love that. Yeah. Cynicism is valuable to a certain point, but I love going to different directions.
Well, and it's a challenge too because you want to with this kind of obviously it's a heightened kind of supernatural situation, so it allows you a lot of leeway, but you want to be honest with the challenges that my co-writer Jaina, she's a LGBTQ counselor, and you want to be honest about the challenges. Well, also you don't want to punish characters for just being who they are, that kind of a thing. So that kind of tightrope of allowing people to just exist, just exist while being a part of what's hopefully a really cool story.
That's great.
This something it's this what you do. You guys made a show that you wanted to see, right? Yeah. We made a comic that we wanted to read, and it's unfortunately one that I don't. There's kind of been a boom with independent comics of more adult-oriented comics, but not in the same way that kind of like pushes boundaries.
Sure.
Like you used to, and so this hopefully there's again a little bit of that balance act where it's inclusive, but we're also like, doing something that the mainstream would just wouldn't let you do. Just would not.
But now this art is fantastic. It's like some of the, and I know you're saying some of your inspirations were a Preacher, but I see some Sandman in there too. Yeah, the artwork is Gaiman's Sandman is one of my favorite comics all time.
Yeah, and I've actually been rereading it recently, and the kind of you don't see a lot of this in the art, but when you read the book, you'll get a lot of this. A lot of the cosmological ideas. There's a lot of because another thing with this book that I think is important is the devil is our main antagonist, but it's kind of a different take on him. I think a lot of times because we kind of associate religion with some more authoritarian stuff. The devil kind of becomes like the kind of like the guy outside, and what's interesting is, I grew up in a more conservative Christian background, so I've read the Bible cover to cover like 3 times.
Damn,
nice.
Yeah.
Really?
Four times. I went. I'm going to heaven first.
Yeah, and
I had one.
And so and that's kind of the mythology we're pulling from. And so what you see in that is that a lot of the antagonistic figures in that are the authorities, are the religious authorities, are the state. You know what I mean? Are that kind of stuff. And so. Taking that leap, in the book of Job, the devil is kind of represented as kind of a litigator, kind of like a legal figure. And so it's kind of like taking that idea and saying like, so our devil represents religious authority. He's a character that is way into God, doesn't like humanity all that much, thinks we're beneath God, and is just dead set on kind of like proving that we're not worth anybody's time.
Right.
And so it's kind of like he is more of like the religious authority in this and representing kind of like that aspect of stuff.
Love it.
Awesome.
Love everything about it. I want to, and it's out there. We dropped the link is in the description if you want to support it. I'm watching the numbers go up here on Kickstarter. Hellbent is there for you. But again, you are supporting many things here, not just one comic. You're supporting a story that can go on. I do want to ask you this in terms of meetings, because you do a lot like us. You have a foot in every little stream to create and get things out there. Yeah. What do you love about the comic book medium and the graphic novel medium, and how you can tell a story like this different than something else?
Well, it's interesting when you work on, like Josh was just saying, you read my movie script. When you're working on something, a lot of times, for me at least, the project will kind of tell you what it is. It'll kind of be like, oh, this narrative works better.
That was what we did wrong.
Yeah. It'll be like, okay, this is more of a movie, or this is more of a pilot, or this is more of a comic, and some of that is practical. Like our lead character, one of our lead characters, Nick, has a flaming angelic sword. That's not something I can do on my dime.
Right. All right, cue the flaming angelic sword.
So, yeah. Let's get the CG team in here and make that happen and have it not look bad. Yeah. But also, I think it's something that we just mentioned a lot of the influences, Preacher, Sandman, stuff like that. So those are all comics as well. But it's this. Comics are this unique couple things. Comics are this unique space between a visual medium and a literary medium. Yeah. So there's some flexibility there in how you tell your narrative. I also am a big fan of. I think art in comics can be so distinct. Like and I have not watched the show, so this is not any opinion about the show, but seeing ads for Sweet Tooth, one of the things that kind of bums me out about it is the art of Sweet Tooth was so distinct. So to just have live action actors be that, it's like part of the appeal of that is now missing for me.
Yeah.
And so visual, that aspect of the comics can be so more specific than a traditional live action thing is capable of being, because people look like people in the real world.
Right.
Yeah.
But also,
I would give myself abs in a comic.
Yeah, see? We all would.
Yeah. We all would.
But the other thing is comics have the ability to be, I think because they are not necessarily the most mainstream of mediums, even though like superheroes dominate the box office now, that really hasn't translated to comic sales.
Yeah, it really hasn't.
You don't have the Eye of Sauron on you. You can kind of get away with stuff that you couldn't. We were talking about, I won't get into specifics, but we were just talking about it where a situation with you where there's this team of execs and this team of execs and they couldn't sign off on the same thing. You don't need to deal with any of that in comics. It's just me, my co-writer, our artists, coming up with an idea and executing it to the best of our ability. And listen, if Netflix wants to write us a fat check to make it a show, they are more than welcome to. But right now,
Netflix, just go to Streamlabs.
Yeah, go to
Leave your
Streamlabs.
address.
Yeah.
Please.
DJ will
Picks
show
and
up.
sticks, baby. Picks and sticks.
But right now, it's just us making the thing that we want to read, that excites us, that we think will connect with people, and hopefully put a positive message out there.
It's a fascinating time. We talk about that daily here as we're trying to cook up some stuff, and we had some calls today and some things going on.
Good calls.
It's just a great time to kind of take the ball into your own hands and get on that court and play the game you want. That's just a lot of weird sports references, and makes sense to me, Josh.
It's always made sense to me, Ken. You know what else has made sense to me? That's Boone's Bourbon.
There it is.
Boone's Bourbon, official sponsor of this program. And if they could sponsor DJ's Kickstarter, they would. Because DJ, there's nothing more superpower than being able to consume Boone's Bourbon. Get that flaming angelic sword, light up a bottle of Boone's Homegrown, and call it a comic book. Boone's Homegrown Bourbon. Don't drink and read adult comic books. You'll be very scared.
Speaking of Boone's Bourbon, actually, can you go back to my page real quick?
Yeah, I can.
And scroll down. If they want, there what last time I checked, and we're going to update the very bottom of the rewards, the very last one. It's a different
There's
thing.
a lot of things to scroll on websites these days.
Let's see. Oh no, you can't. Never mind. There was a tier where you could get drawn into the comic, and that apparently it's been taken.
That's a good sign.
Yeah,
Reward no longer
That's
available.
fantastic.
So we could have drawn Boone's Bourbon. Listen, I'll make an exception if they want to send us money.
Dude.
Right?
Nothing quite like getting drawn into a comic book. They wouldn't know how to draw me. Apparently, I'm the most undrawable human on the planet.
This is true. I love that first Netflix meeting you will eventually have. I believe in you. And they're like, okay, why is one of your characters a walking, talking bourbon bottle?
Well, because listen, I'll show this to you guys. We haven't really shown this page off, but I'll show it to you guys. This is when you talk about like, okay, what can you do in comics that you really can't do in a show?
Yeah.
So I'll tell you guys at home, the first 6 pages are kind of like a prologue with Nick kind of setting up his situation, and he fights a very specific demon monster. And this is that. And this is something that you couldn't, if we were to show this to Netflix, I don't know that this would fly.
I don't know if
standards and
superheroes
practices.
do that. How long is that?
That's a good question. And listen, if you all want to know, I showed this to the Valley Folk people as well.
How did Beretta take this?
This is awesome.
It was similar to you guys.
Yeah, Beretta.
I'm just sitting over here.
Pass it along. Pass it along.
Come grab that there. But switch to Josh's camera when he takes a peek.
Yeah.
Look at the bottom.
Whoa.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Makes you think, huh?
Yeah. So that's the.
I feel things.
So that's something you wouldn't necessarily get away with. Not only in a movie or TV show, but in like mainstream comics.
100%.
Yeah, like Saga.
That's very all-inclusive, Ken.
Yeah.
The Saga's like the comic book that pushed it farther than I would have thought.
Yes.
Sex Criminals as well.
Yeah.
That just leapt over it like a Fosbury flop.
I think when we were doing it, we were thinking of Saga, and then when I was reaching out to collaborators and stuff like that, you forget that Saga's Brian K. Vaughan though, so they let him do that thing.
Yeah.
When you're just nobody, they're like, wait, what are you doing? It's not just that. All right, it's just
That's the beginning.
Yeah, it's just the beginning.
We can't share what we saw.
Yeah.
But you're gonna enjoy it. Back this book.
What if it wasn't that? Do you ever see, I always bring it up, that movie, the TV set or the TV program with David Duchovny. You ever seen that movie?
No.
where he's trying to pitch and create a show for TV, right?
Yeah.
And it starts as an hour-long drama and ends as a 30-minute sitcom.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
Sigourney Weaver plays the executive, and his wife.
Sounds amazing.
Duchovny's wife is Justine Bateman, and Sigourney Weaver plays a studio head, and she takes all of her pilots and plays them for her 11-year-old daughter, and the daughter's like, nope. Yeah, and she's like, she makes the decisions for the whole studio. An 11-year-old daughter. Yeah, there you go.
Hey, one of my friends was at a pitch meeting. I won't say his name. He sold a lot of shows and everything, but this is early on. And the guy he pitched to was like, listening, and he goes, I love that you made that character pregnant, and there was no pregnant character. And he went like, absolutely, and that's how the show ended up going. He's like, okay.
But the line in that whole thing is because the story starts with his brother dying, and every executive in every meeting is like, what if the brother didn't die? It's like, that's the show.
So what we're saying is you're going to get that question.
You're gonna get
Oh,
that
yeah,
question.
100%. But see, right now we don't have to worry about any
don't
of that.
have to worry.
We don't have to worry about it. We're just making what we want to make. And
I love that.
So we'll see.
We got a couple super chats.
Yeah, especially that one for DJ Oldboy. Yeah,
so
go for it, Josh.
shout out to our buddy DJ Oldboy who sent us a Ally McBeal CD that I used as a reward as the prize on Jeopardy last Friday. So thank you. DJ Oldboy sends in a super chat. Good people. Today is my mom's birthday. Currently celebrating at King's Fish House.
Nice.
Can I get a birthday shout out to Becky? Happy birthday, Becky.
Yeah.
Oh,
Happy
Becky,
birthday,
you're
Becky.
so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Becky. Hey, Becky. Favorite Motown group or song? Question mark. Ken, my mom saw the Beatles at the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh,
Way back when.
That's a great
Favorite Motown song? Mine is Heard It Through the Grapevine.
Yeah, I like a lot of Temptation stuff.
Yes.
Absolutely. Just My Imagination.
Oh, that's a good one.
Once again.
Marvin
DJ.
Gaye, Sexual Healing.
Oh, that's really good.
That's a
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah, I remember
Al
when
Green.
you sang that to me. That one.
That
time.
was
Al Green's a great choice.
Yeah.
I have an Al Green's greatest hit CD, and sometimes it's a cheat.
Yeah.
But it's like 3 discs. That's
Well,
like a collection.
It's like we went
That's
to
like a collection.
I'm a big Bruce Springsteen fan, right? And
Yeah, you are.
my buddy's wife is a huge Bruce Springsteen fan. And so we go to this concert and he comes with, and he's like a Bruce Springsteen fan, right? And so we're all there and everybody's talking about Bruce Springsteen. Bruce Springsteen is sort of like a jam band where people just follow him everywhere, right?
Sure.
And people see him like 20, 30 times. And this guy's behind us is like,
Little
"Oh, what?"
Steven isn't even in the band.
He's
He
not
just kept following.
Just kept following. And the guy behind us was like, so what's your favorite album? Like, what number show? And I was like, oh, this is my 15th and so. And the wife was like, oh, this is my like 21st. And then he's like, what's your favorite album? And I was like, I'm a Greetings from Asbury Park guy, yada, yada, yada. And then it goes my buddy, who's his like second show. He's like, what's your favorite album? He's like, Greatest Hits, for sure. Like, I love the Springsteen Greatest Hits. And we were both like,
Good.
Joel Rolston sends in a super chat as well. Hey, guys, like the discussion. DJ, I have an idea. What if Jezzy's free spirit is actually what her father wants? Her own path brings what he wanted.
See, that's what I got to get ready for. That's the
that's the question.
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah. What if the thing that made your story happen wasn't that thing? What if it wasn't? It's like, well, that would be interesting.
Right.
Yeah. That would be interesting.
Right.
Josh,
right.
what if the Steelers won the Super Bowl?
Wait, hold on.
What if? What if Eating History got a season 2? What if? What if my wife said, maybe we shouldn't have a baby during the pandemic? What if?
But then you wouldn't have
Well,
one.
she stopped in today. She's a cute little
What
thing.
if they did make a Bad Boys 3 after 20 years? Wait, they did.
Whoa.
Yes.
And what if they were currently in production for the 4th one?
Yeah.
I loved the way they spun that. Like, listen, Bad Boys for Life was the biggest hit of 2020. Like, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I guess you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. DJ.
You're not wrong.
Because every time like a movie got pushed back or got like went straight to HBO Max, there was like Bad Boys for Life still the #1 grossing box office movie, and I was like, you're goddamn right it is. Okay, as a movie, it was perfect in every single way.
Love it. Abernathy Ross says, okay, when are we talking about pot? I don't even know what that's referencing, but I don't know. Josh, take it away.
Weed?
I mean, we can talk about pot. I mean,
Rarely does Josh Macuga indulge in the marijuanas, but when
Why
he
is
does,
that?
I'm just bad at it, DJ.
What does that mean?
Really bad. Like I get,
This is great, yeah.
I get very paranoid. I
Yeah.
start thinking about my own mortality.
yeah.
I've been doing that a lot lately.
Yeah.
It's weird. I wonder why.
DJ.
I wonder why.
I wonder why. It's weird.
I'll tell you what's way more fun than smoking marijuana and or eating it is Boone's homegrown bourbon.
Waiting for that.
It doesn't make you think of your mortality. It pushes you to the edge of mortality. Boone's Homegrown Bourbon. Whew. Drink some.
Well done.
That might have been the best one. Clip that out, send it to Tyler Boone, and see if he approves. No, that was great. You got really you didn't get excited about the weed talk. You were like. I heard your voice and it sounded like you were rolling one as you're like.
Yeah, it's like
we can talk about that.
I love to
Yeah.
talk about it. Yeah, we can talk about it. I mean,
Mark's a big
it's
high
my
guy.
medicine.
Yeah,
It's,
it's
you know,
medicine.
It's the stuff that dreams are made of.
Well,
you know,
These
the
dreams.
paranoia will pass.
You just gotta push.
You got to push through it.
Push through.
You got to challenge it. You know, you smoke one, it's going to go right in. It's going to hit you, and that paranoia might hit right then and there. But you just stare it right in the eyes, and you go, "Man, I'm just high."
Yeah, you got to ride the wave.
Ride that
You gotta
wave.
Ride the wave. Yeah.
sometimes I get high and I think to myself, is this ever going to end?
That'll pass too.
You might want to dial it back. You might want to ease yourself in. You know what I mean? Like if you're living in that space, you might be cranking it up a little too high for where you're at.
Yeah.
Where do you land? Do you
Listen.
no?
Listen.
Yes or
Let's.
no?
Listen.
I don't.
I cannot
so
listen.
maybe-
I cannot confirm or deny whether I might. But if I did, it would probably be a little bit. Take the edge off. Just
Yep.
a little bit.
Just a little.
Okay.
Like my wife works nights. She's a nurse. She works nights. So like you're there. You're home alone.
important job.
Take the edge off. May or may not be related to this, but also kind of I feel like a movie I think you would enjoy based on your Bad Boys love. The other night I watched a movie on Netflix called Avengement. Avengement. Yeah, for action movie fans.
Sign me up.
Yeah, for action movie fans,
That's me.
You might look at it and be like, "Oh, the genre, other than give or take a John Wick or a Fast movie, the genre's kind of dead in theaters." Yeah, but it's moved. It's migrated,
Just like the rom-com.
straight to TV, and a lot of them are bad. But every once in a while, you get a movie like Avengement, which is kind of like a British. Kind of like somebody trying to, kind of like a early Guy Ritchie Snatch era.
Got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
type movie. But yeah, it's an action movie, and it was a blast. It was just a lot of
Avengement.
fun. Avengement. Yeah, a title's awful. The title sucks.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Movie, really good though.
Really good.
Who do we
Who's
have?
in it?
Who's in the picture?
I'm totally blanking right now. I'm gonna have to bring it up.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's look.
And it's a bummer because it's
2019
Kaika Shively, the Hawaiian hunk, Prince of the Islands,
my
great
gosh.
Kino. What do you got?
Oh, I would just DJ was saying that maybe you should dial it back. I've known Josh for 7 months now. He's not one really to dial
Scott
back.
Adkins.
Scott Adkins?
Scott Adkins, yeah. So you might not. Most people who have seen Scott Adkins is remember in Doctor Strange, there's the guy that fights Doctor Strange's cape while he's in the spirit realm or
Yes,
whatever.
yes.
That guy. Whatever. That's a throwaway role for him.
Game of Thrones?
He is as a major figure in the straight to TV action. He was in the most recent Universal Soldier movie, which is actually really good, directed by John Hyams. But yeah,
Wait, didn't we know somebody in that movie? What's his name in that one? Universal Soldier, the new one.
Dave Reckoning,
Tiffany
I
Smith's
think.
friend.
Chad.
Chad.
Chad Michael.
Chad Collins. Chad Michael Collins.
Chad Michael
He was-
Collins.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but anyway. So if you're in for like a lean, mean action movie that has a little bit of a crime element, that's pretty cool. I also watched the other day Ong Bak for the first time.
Oh, Ong Bak is pretty
yeah.
Ong Bak is
Ong Bak
really
is
good. Yeah,
pretty
it's-
solid.
Yeah.
I love a good action movie. Obviously, in my top 10 movies, which I don't even really have one, but it's always, like Bad Boys 2 and Die Hard are my two favorite.
Yeah.
And then, like Speed and, I could watch any action movie all the time. But like Netflix action movie properties have been so good lately, and I get so much hate on Twitter when I say like that 6 Feet Underground one with Ryan Reynolds, where they're like 600
Yeah, Michael Bay.
Awesome. Yeah, Michael Bay at his finest. There's a magnetic boat at one point. I mean, insanity. That one with Chris Hemsworth where
Extraction.
he's like fighting Extraction.
That one's
Thor.
great.
Oh, no.
So good.
Yeah,
Thor.
check out Avengement, man. You might be
Matt
into
the
it.
Beardman says Avengement was badass. The director's a former stunt coordinator.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the guys. Those are the guys you want doing your action scene because then they do stuff that like
Wick,
because
yeah.
they know what to do. Yeah, John Wick. They're
Yeah.
both Stileski.
Yeah.
They were former stunt guys. Yeah,
That's the key.
Yeah.
That's the key.
that's the secret sauce.
What's your favorite '80s nostalgia movie from the '80s? What's your secret,
good
other than
question.
like the big ones,
Other than the big
like
ones?
a Goonies, a Gremlins, a
Because
Star
you're
Wars?
like a film guy.
Yeah, you like some films.
So, I don't know, like a favorite. I did just watch, rewatch, but it'd been so long I didn't really remember. I just rewatched Highlander.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, and it's one of those perfect little movies that you watch. It's like, yeah, this is the one you should remake because while it's super entertaining, there is room for improvement. If nothing else, you can like pivot it into a different direction and do something different with it. But that was a lot of fun.
Okay. I will die on this soapbox or anthill or whatever we're dying on these days. He-Man Master of the Universe, the movie with Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
Okay, people may hate it. I love that movie. It is so silly and ridiculous, but it is awesome.
Well, it's also if you kind of know how to work your silliness. Like, I unfortunately watched the new Mortal Kombat movie recently.
You didn't like it?
I did not. It made me go back and rewatch the '90s one. It's
great.
Amazing, like because it gets for one thing. You can tell everybody's having fun. You know what I mean? Totally. And so that makes the movie fun to watch.
Yes.
And the fights in are actually really solid. Like they're really and I think that's the one thing kind of the new Mortal Kombat's kind of missing is it's doing really silly.
Here's the thing that people have
that.
Here's the big thing that people have told me about having a baby, and I didn't believe them.
Yeah. You don't see movies anymore.
Well, you don't see things. Period unless your wife agrees to them.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, without a kid, you could go to like separate rooms and watch stuff, or be like, hey, I want to go to the theater or whatever. You see with buddies or something like that. Now you have a kid. And as soon as she goes to sleep, it's like, let's watch something together. And we get about 30 to 40 minutes into something and we both fall asleep. Right?
Living the dream.
Right. Amanda, while I was out of town. Now, here's the thing. When you're a significant other's out of town, you can try and watch stuff. Like, I will just hold Rosie and walk around the house and watch things. Like, you don't want the baby to really see the TV. And I try and watch stuff where the F word isn't every other word, but things that I've wanted to see. I still haven't seen the new Mortal Kombat, and I love the first Mortal Kombat. But like, she started watching this show called Manifest. It's on NBC.
Oh yeah. It literally just got canceled.
It just got canceled.
Yeah. Oh boy.
And she was really butthurt that it got canceled, but she just started binging it. And she told me the plot line, and I was like, all right, it's a cool idea. But network TV just took it in like everybody's in love kind of a thing. It's like, hey, we're all on this plane, but now we're in love. So I was watching an episode with her last night. It didn't make much sense, but I'm like, okay, this is the one you chose? Like, this is the show that you chose when I was gone.
When you weren't around. What's your go-to when she's not around?
Oh man, I mean,
Bad Boys for Life.
Well, of course. I'm obsessed with the show Mr. In Between on FX.
Yeah, you know what? I started watching it and I dipped
so simple,
out, but I like it's Australian, right?
It's Australian.
Yeah.
It's an Australian show.
What's interesting about Australian stuff is if you've ever watched, I mean, obviously Mad Max is probably the most famous thing, but if you ever watched The Proposition or any Australian horror things, much of Australia's output is dealing with the fact that literally 10 steps from outside their door, everything wants to murder them.
Yes, right.
It's just that existential dread that they just live their lives with. That we're all learning now. Like we're all here in America are learning it, but like they just have it.
They have, including redheads. It's a thing.
I mean, have you seen any videos of like people like, here's a spider in Australia, and it's the size of a Fiat?
Listen, my kangaroo's trying to steal my kid. I'm gonna have to punch it to death. Like that's Australia. That's what you're dealing with. Yeah.
Yeah, and this show is very much everything's gonna murder you in Australia, including a man with a goatee.
Yes.
But he's like it's the title of the show, Mr. In Between. He's a dad, and he's like a really kind soul that has to murder people.
So this is cathartic. This is your dad. You're kind of like living vicariously through.
Well, I always thought that I could be a really good assassin until it took the actual killing of people. I could be like kind of like brooding and stuff, or like mysterious if I needed to be. But then they're like, you got to kill people. I'm like, oh.
Something I liked about Mr. In Between is that the lead guy looks like a dude. Like he just looks like a dude. He's not like movie actor handsome.
No.
Like
and I love that about like British TV and a lot of international TV is like a lot of people that just look like people.
Yeah.
Anything that's not like American based, they're like actual normal looking actors. Everyone else is like,
Then you come to America, like Manifest, for instance. Like I'm watching Manifest, and I was like, not all the people on the plane can be good looking. They can't all
it's just statistically impossible.
Have you ever been on a plane?
Network
There are
TV
a crap ton of ugly people.
But then the other thing with the Brits,
including myself.
The other thing with the Brits, though, is they keep trying to convince you that Domhnall Gleeson can just land the hottest woman on the planet. Like here he is with Haley Atwell. Here he is with Rachel Adams. I'm like,
come on.
That's not how that works.
He's a good actor, but he's also just like the local ginger that got kicked out of the pub.
He's great in that Netflix movie with Will Forte about the National Lampoon. I went half the movie.
That's right.
I'm pretty when I'm into a movie and I watch it, I'm pretty plugged in who's in the movie. I went half the movie before I realized it was Donald Gleason.
Yeah.
I was like, hold it, did that thing.
Have you seen this was from a while back, Lost City? It's Lost City of Z for us, but it's a British film, so it's Lost City of Zed.
It's
with Charlie Hunnam.
Charlie Hunnam and Tom Holland.
It's Robert Pattinson.
Pattinson.
Completely unrecognizable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But God bless him, because every time I'll tweet out when I saw that Lost City of Z, I'll tweet out Good Time, and then all these Twihards come out and support it, and I'm like, God, well, good for him and Kristen Stewart for hey. Thank you for watching us in Twilight and giving us all the money in the world. Here's some really great movies that we're in, and now they're all into it just by osmosis.
They're kind of Renaissance in a way, in a sense where people respect them in the sense that sometimes you mentioned Billy Zane and Titanic, where you're in a big movie, whether you love the movie or not, it gets so big that people almost hate you for being in it, or they put you in that box. I'm not talking necessarily about Pattinson even as Batman or anything, just other roles, and they're like, hey, I got lucky. Yeah, because everyone wants that stroke of luck in the business, and now I get to go do what I want to do. And now I love that the fan base and just general movie fans have just kind of embraced them as performers. I
think because they put in that work. They just did stuff that was they're so good
chances.
at what they're doing. Yeah, they did.
They
some
really did
crazy stuff.
They had to. I mean, it's because otherwise you're going to be. Typecast. You're going to be
that's what happens.
Pattinson, but Pattinson was a legit actor.
He was. Good Times.
He wasn't brought on to Twilight as this is some hot, sexy dude. Yes, he was hot and sexy dude.
Well, Harry Potter put him on the map.
Cedric Diggory,
right? And then he becomes the sparkly vampire.
Then he's like, listen, I'm a good actor, and I'm going to show it. And because he made so much money on Twilight and Harry Potter and all that kind of stuff, he could go and do what's that movie, Rover. He was fantastic. In that.
That's right.
I mean, I give him credit because if I made all that money on Twilight, I would go to Montana, open up a general feed store.
Yes,
and
I would be there with you.
You'll never see me again.
You go to Marathon, Texas, and work at the Gage Hotel.
That's what
I just did a road
about.
Trip from LA to Texas.
Yeah,
and I just got back yesterday.
Yeah,
and to help my buddy move some stuff, and we stopped in this place called Marathon, Texas. Dude, it was unbelievable. It was this tiny town. The only thing that exists was a hotel, a brewery, and a restaurant bar.
That's crazy.
Awesome.
I remember when me and my buddy, we moved out here 10 years ago now. We did 2 road trips. He came out here before me, so we kind of did the lower part of the country, and then when I came out, we kind of did the middle part. But when we were taking him out here, we went through Texas. Hard to miss. It's so big.
So big.
But I remember at one point, I'm trying to remember if he was driving or I was driving, but we were coming from Florida, whatever. We were used to we had a gas station, but the tank's half full. We're fine.
We're good.
You don't do that in Texas. No. If you're half full and you see a gas station, you take that gas station because then we were going to a friend's house, one of his friends, and darkness fell it does, and there were literally just dark headlights and pitch blackness on either side, and the gas tank was going down, and so my brain goes to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We're gonna die out here. We're gonna die in Texas. That's what's gonna happen.
Because
TV's Big Adventure.
A lot of the drive, it looks like somebody just died in a place and nobody knew about it, and it just went away.
Well, and here's the crazy thing. So what I learned was we went through Texas, Oklahoma, and New Mexico. Texas is a lot of nothing.
Okay.
Oklahoma is a lot of sketchy nothing. New Mexico is a lot of beautiful nothing because we kind of got in the mountains and there's some snow. But when we were in Oklahoma, we stopped in this motel and we were in the motel room and we hear what sounds like a scuffle outside. And so we're like, do we? I'm like, nah, we're not gonna. And then you come out and there's suddenly trash everywhere and used condoms and you're like, we need to get out of Oklahoma. I don't know what's going on here, but we need to get out.
There's a lot of places where like I said to Ken, people lived there at one point, but now it's just gone. It's gone, but they left everything there. A trailer with a sort of a little house next to it on a piece of fenced in land and nothing around it. And you're like, at one point, somebody chose to live there.
Yeah.
There's nothing for 30 miles in each way. I understand why they left.
Yeah.
But they didn't take anything with them.
And if you watched Nomadland, it deals with there's some problematic elements with Nomadland, but that's a big part of it. Is the idea of you lived in a place that just doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But we live in Burbank. At least I do.
A lot of stuff.
A couple minutes left of the show here. We want to thank you all for watching GPA Live. Cool stuff coming. We got. We'll tease. Next week we're announcing something cool.
Yep.
On the main show here Wednesday.
Just say something that a lot of people requested when we first launched is happening. OnlyFans.
That's
right.
OnlyFans.
And I'm finally putting these hairy boys on Wikipedia.
That's right. So stay tuned for that. And then next Wednesday, the main show, we are going to break out Futility, the actual game of living, Josh. We're going to play a game.
We haven't done a playthrough in a bit, and we are trying to sell that so that you guys can all get your own copy of Futility, the actual game of living, play with your family and friends, multiple different versions of that. So we need to play it because we're going to shoot a little trailer, and we might do, we're going to do some fun stuff with it. Because, again, I think a lot of people actually enjoyed it when we did the playthrough. And I think the mass audiences will actually enjoy it as a playthrough. So we're going to do that. But also this Friday, Ken, on Joshparty, we have the Shinedown Showdown 2.0. Zach and Eric are going head-to-head again.
Oh, boy.
Okay? They're currently recording Shinedown 7. And you got to imagine as they're recording this album, it's getting a little heated in there. They may need a competition.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that on Joshparty. And DJ, we got to get you on Joshparty sometime soon.
You'd love it.
Yeah.
Got to get you up for that. That's coming our way. Big stuff coming. We appreciate all your support here. Live shows, traveling, all those kind of things. And don't forget the picks and sticks.
Picks and sticks.
Throw up that picture so we can see those beautiful sticks and those beautiful picks.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the deal. If you're a founding member or a Bucket Club member, go into Streamlabs. By the way, that Streamlabs, it's always active. Just go into streamlabs.com/goodpeoplegpa. $20 for members, $25 for not. And just leave your address in the memo. Mark, you got one. Some of you tonight also did additional donations to help the Trevor Project, which is what we're supporting from now to the end of June for right now here at the GPA. So we appreciate that. There's one. Do you want to read?
Yeah, let me get there real quick. Lucy Redmond, thank you for this. She sent in a Streamlab for the Trevor Project on University of Tennessee's campus. Has a big rock students paint. This week there was a rainbow heart and pride flags. Some nasty things got painted over it. The original student had to see those hateful drawings. The Trevor Project is so necessary for these kids. Thank you for that.
Absolutely.
And that story. And that kind of stuff just gets me so.
Imagine being that big of an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
But hey,
why?
Yeah, that's why we're here to spread the good and find the good and spread positivity. And our
do what our sticker says.
Do what the sticker says. Find
Be
the good.
Good people.
Listen, we're here to spread the good news.
That's right. And part of
Read
that
the
good
Bible.
Oh, another one.
Yeah,
Hit
and
me.
we just had some extra. We're getting some picks and sticks here from LEQ, but putting a little extra for the Trevor Project. So thank you very much for that, LEQ.
And again, these picks and sticks, we only have 50. So we're going to sell these until they're gone. Then we're going to do another special run. These are going to be like our limited edition things we're going to always do so that you guys can put picks and sticks all over the world and people can join the Good People Association. That's our goal. Don't be afraid to put it on something. Tell people all about it.
Absolutely. And speaking of finding the good, we found a very nice good friend who's a talented writer and creator, and that's DJ Wooldridge. And he's got the Kickstarter still going right now. I'm watching the numbers pop up. HELLBENT, a devilishly irreverent supernatural thriller comic book graphic novel. Do you prefer it? Is it all of it?
It's a comic book.
It's a comic book. I know the difference, but I just want to make sure.
Yeah. So this is 44 pages, and we're hoping to do a few extra installments and then collect it all.
Into a trade paperback.
Yep, you got it.
I go to my comic shop. The first time I went to my comic shop, I was on break from my old job, and I was in a suit and tie. And I was in there, and I've been to comic shops, and the guy pulls me aside and goes, all right, so what you want to do is get a pull list. I was like, I'm not the dad from High Fidelity looking for Stevie Wonder singles. Like, I'm not that guy.
You're actually right where you guys are at right now. You're kind of in a nexus in a few really good shops.
We
are.
Yeah, absolutely. So follow DJ at DJ Talks Trash, but also support the Kickstarter. Thanks for supporting us. For Mr. Mark Riley.
Thank you.
For Josh Macuga back from the road. Look at that man over there flexing, doing the throat, those hairy arms. And for me, I don't know what my name is. And of course, Ikaika, Ukaipa, the Hawaiian
Ikaika is heading out of town for the next 2 days.
Yeah.
Ikaika's going out of town for the next couple weeks. He's going on a little vacation with his family and friends. And Ken is taking over the board for the Positivity Report tomorrow and Friday. And Friday, Joshparty.
Oh, yeah.
So
we'll see how that goes. I'm going to press the buttons. We'll
I'll be there with you to learn to suck with you, I
guess. Thank you. Hold me up. There can only be one, but hold me up. Thank you all for the support. Again, Picks and Sticks, that's going to go until supplies run out. We appreciate all your super chats, and Streamlabs also supporting the Trevor Project and all the charities we've always supported here. We'll continue to do that here. That is it. You got one before you go?
Just one addendum to one last bit here from Lucy Redmond. I ran out of the text in the Streamlab, but the students ones who painted the flags were able to paint over the nasty things. So that's good.
Good.
Glad you got to get rid of that nasty
life finds
shit.
a way. We heal, we heal, we heal.
Yeah.
And we're going to heal and see you tomorrow morning on the Positivity Report. Bye, friends. Bye.